To be honest, it's a lot easier to grow meat than it is to grow vegetables. Between our pigs, our beefy boys that we have in our freezer, all of our chickens that we raise, you know, we grow 100% of our meat. You guys sound like squeaky toys. Hey, pigs. We just moved them in this area. All these weeds. But I'm noticing they prefer clover for sure. Everybody prefers clover. It makes me want to eat it. I wonder what it tastes like. There's some blackberries in here that they're picking off. The area that we do need to work on, and that's just going to take some time because of the hard, ugly soil that we have, is growing veggies, vegetables. One of our goals is to produce vegetables for us, of course, and then produce vegetables for our animals, especially these coonies. Am I raising vegan pigs? I mean, you could grow a chicken in like 6 weeks for your freezer. You don't have to worry about groundhogs eating them, or aphids, or moles, beetles. These beetles will destroy a garden. Horrible soil. And all you gotta do is move them around in the coop. You don't even need grass to raise them. But having a successful garden is gonna take some time. Last year we had about 5 raised garden beds. This year I made 5 more, so we have 10 total. These 2 raised beds and that one over there, that is the older soil from last year. Because if you notice, these raised beds are growing really well. These raised beds, look at this, it's not even growing. Not growing, not growing. I think all our onions are dead. What's happening? This is older soil. Look at this lettuce. So much lettuce.
In this bed, I've got strawberries, and then I planted a whole bunch of lettuces and kale. We have harvested so much lettuce already from these beds, but now they're starting to form lettuce heads, and then so I'm just going to cut them completely off instead of just harvesting around the edges here, because I'm worried they're gonna go to seed.
Swiss chard is looking pretty good. These onions look good too on this bed. I really think it was the soil that we're using. It's just not very good. It's not alive. It's the older stuff that's doing better.
We've got our peas trellising on this trellis here. I like how it goes all the way around in an arc. You can eat them while they're young and tender and eat the whole thing, but what we like to do is wait until they get about this big. We do have 2 different varieties, a blush variety on the side and then a green variety on the side, but we like to wait until they get this big, and then we like to eat the peas in the inside. And we've grown so many peas this year and harvested so many that we're able to take them inside and fill up a container and have it as a side dish. We have a couple different kale varieties, and I wanted to try this one out this year. I don't remember exactly the name. I have it inside the house. It's called something blue kale.
Dinosaur kale.
No, this one's not the dinosaur kale. This one's like deep blue kale or something. I have a tag somewhere in here, but it has like a blue name to it. And I wanted to try it out. This, I have to say, this is not my favorite. It tends to be a little dry, if that's the word.
Like dinosaur skin.
Yeah, it is close to the dinosaur kale, which is not my favorite. But if you come over here, we have 2 other varieties of kale. This one is like a dwarf Siberian kale. I actually like this one. It's kind of spiky though. It feels a little pokey when you touch it, but it is very good. I like that kale. And then this variety here, and I feel bad because I don't know the name of it off the top of my head. I have another tag somewhere around here that got lost. And I can totally see the package of seeds is from Baker Creek in my mind, but I can't think of the name. But this is like a purple veined kale, and I actually like this one because it is pretty. It's comparable to this one, but I have to say the taste is way better on this dwarf Siberian kale. I like this one the best because it's just a softer kale.
We've been here about a year and a half, and even with our last homestead that we built, every year the garden got a little bit better, and then by the time we left that 1.5 acres, man, you know, that 2,000 square foot garden was booming. So this time we have to start all over, starting with raised beds this time, and then eventually we'll get a huge garden out there growing. We did do the Shusugiban style of preserving this wood, which is charring the wood. Did this a year ago. It's still looking good. I did these are new ones from this year. I have plans for these raised beds, and I show you how to do all this in videos, plans, so you can make these raised beds yourself. Last year when we very first moved to this property, we had our garden here, and this year we just moved our garden to this spot because it's closer to our house. It's not so far away, and this is mainly going to be our kitchen garden. When Lorraine's making a delicious meal, she can just walk out her back door, go pick something from the garden, and walk back. We have 2 raised beds here because we just harvested our garlic.
We've laid out all of our garlic, and all of the stems have dried off. So now what we're gonna do is just clean off some of these dirt on the skin. We're just gonna like peel that off. We don't want to take off the skin, but we're just gonna take off the dirt.
This week we have our mom here helping us. It seems like every time she comes visits, we are putting away garlic.
That's what I'm here for the garlic.
Now that we have this nice barn to dry out some of our food, this garlic, after curing it, it's been in here for about 3 weeks. If you remember, we originally bought this garlic at the grocery store. It was organic garlic that we bought a bunch, brought it over here, planted more, and grew a lot more than what we initially brought home. All right, good job, Penelope. Look at this one. These came out really nice. Let's see what you're doing. On this table, we're gonna wait to put these away. I think we probably harvested those maybe a week or 2 after these ones we're doing now. They don't look as dry. You can still see the green. They're not, you know, brown and look dead looking. At least we'll be safe from the vampires. But these are gonna be hanging either in our basement, or I think we're talking about hanging them in our mudroom, and then as we're needing them throughout the year, cooking with them, we'll just pick them right off, and we could start using this in our food. Let's try one. I try to have some before we put it away. Fresh garlic. So from 72 cloves, we planted one of these each. We got 92 heads of garlic, which is one of these. 92 of these from 72 of these. And there's a bunch of these on... Forget chicken math, what about garlic math? We just picked up some soil from Dirtcraft Organics to hill up our newly dug up garden. But it's raining like crazy today, so we didn't get a chance to plant our garden. It was too late. So I'm gonna pick some up so I can put and dump in our raised garden beds. We have since moved our turkeys into the coop. More space. We had to separate them. There's about 8 in here. We lost one, and we have 2 that still have those limpy legs, and I kept them in this little coop just in case, because it seems like when they get those weird legs, they can't walk, and they end up just dying. I'm gonna catch you one of these days. That was our surprise chicken. Won't let me catch him. I think it's a him. water. So much water. Almost looks like a slip and slide. Potato!
I know.
Oh, nice. All right, potatoes.
Don't judge a crop by its tops.
Since our soil is not very good that we have on here that we just got, but now we got the good soil, we're just gonna throw it right on top and hopefully that'll help it. First day of summer today, but it feels like the first day of fall. It's windy, it's kind of rainy. It actually feels really nice. This is our mama hen, and these are the first chickens that we ever hatched. She only hatched 2, but they're doing pretty good. And this one has a limpy leg. Her leg's like stuck straight, but it's, I mean, still moving around pretty good. We've been letting him out of their coop and let them roam around a little bit more. He does seem to fall behind, but I mean, he's still going pretty good. He looks healthy. I don't know if he's a he or she. Same thing with the other one. We are currently expanding our garden, which we're gonna go out there more. The garden doesn't have to stay in one spot. It doesn't have to stay here. We can move it to a different spot. We can expand it to a different spot. And compared to last year to this year, our garden's definitely better. It's grown bigger. So next year it's gonna be even better. And year after year after year, everything's just gonna get bigger, better, and the soil's gonna get better, the food's gonna get better, the quantity of it, and that's something we're just gonna have to work through, figure it out, and hopefully we can provide some food for us and good healthy vegetables for our animals as we continue to raise our own meat here, and hopefully we can supplement some of their food with the food that we grow here on our homestead. This week on our Patreon members page, I answer all your questions. I'll leave that link down below in the show notes. Thank you guys for being here, and we'll see you guys on the next one.